free medical treatment to various patients, would it be covered in first category?
See, if I have to look at, I have an option to invoke the clarification which was issued 6-7 days back, that the meaning of these provisions needs to be interpreted liberally. So I can say it is meant for promoting health. That be the case, I can interpret and take it as my CSR. But if the entire donation is to a hospital for setting up the hospital, which include a portion of preventive health, then it is difficult to argue. So in your case, where it is more in the nature of routine operations and providing services, then my sense is I'll prefer to take it than to see it. Sorry, can you speak aloud?
Yeah, in these companies, can contribute to NGOs who are covering these activities.
I'll answer this. Under the provisions, you have 4 modes of contribution, and one of the mode is payment to the third party. While you are making the payment to the third party, first of all, it is eligible. However, you can make those payments provided you are satisfied that the purpose for which you are making the payment, the NGO has a track record of similar activity. If an NGO has a track record of a dissimilar activity, which is other than the purpose for which you are giving the money, then that amount is not eligible.
So just an extension of that, what if those NGOs are not spending their money in future for the same activities?
The view that has emerged is, once you have effectively passed on your monies to the NGO, you have divested your money. To that extent you have spent, but the onus is on you for monitoring that whether it is being spent or not. In that case, there is a responsibility on the board to ensure that it is being spent.
So if you have just written a purpose for which it should be utilized, is it enough? Because we don't have any control over those NGOs for that.
This part of the question I cannot answer. That you do not, over a period of time, I'll help myself to evolve with the right answer. Presently, I do not have the answer. Sorry.
Generally, you have to spend minimum 2% every year of the lab profit. But suppose we are undertaking one school project and we have spent more than 20% of the profit. Can we stagger it out in the forthcoming year also?
See, you may have taken a long-term project, and many organizations has taken, and the amount can be any number. What it says, while you spend pay, you do not make a distinction between capital or revenue. But if the mode of spending is self, the expenditure required to be spent in the current year is 2% of the profit. So you can spend that. Now it is quite possible that in year 1 there can be certain deficit and year 2 there could be surplus. Now, in year 1 when there is a deficit, you will explain it with the reason that you are already committed because of execution delays or permissions, it got delayed, it will be spent in subsequent year. In subsequent year when you spend, at that time the limit that will be computed will be independent of the computation which is based on the last 3 years. At that point of time, even if there is a short, if you add current year's 2% and the shortfall which is carried forward, because there is no concept of carry forward, technically you still will be complying if you are just meeting the earlier year shortfall and the current year what you are supposed to spend as 2% criteria. Whether that's the best practice, maybe not, it's not. But whether the shortfalls can be carried forward or is required to be carried forward, no. So subsequent amount which you are spending will be considered as an amount which is based on an independent silo computation of last 3 years. So yes, when you carry forward, you have a justification.
If I have spent excess cost,
So excess money always welcome.
the second year I cannot spend.
No, there is no set off also which is allowed.
Okay, so that I have to continue 2%.
You have to compute 2% spending year by year, which is a silo assessment, and not there is no provision of carry forward or set off as yet in the rules. With this, I hand over the dice back to the organization.
Thank you very much, Rakesh, for a very elaborate and brilliant presentation. The presentation is quite good. I now request Sharma